The Murder Rate, a deep dive into Chicago's violent struggles. What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me today. We're about to take a deep dive into the gritty reality of Chicago's violent struggles. We'll break down the murder rate trends from 2000s to 2024, talk about the most dangerous neighborhoods, the impact of drill music, and the key figures in this scene. Plus, we'll touch on what the cops and the community are doing to fight back. Let's get into it. 2000s to 2010, the early turbulence. At the dawn of the millennium, Chicago faced a grim reality, a city besieged by violence. The murder rate fluctuated wildly, peaking in 2001 with 666 homicides. This was the height of gang wars and illegal guns flooding the streets. Despite numerous efforts to clamp down on crime, the early 2000s were bloody. Increased police presence, community outreach programs, and stricter gun laws gradually started to make a dent. By the end of the decade, we saw a slow but steady drop in homicides. 2010 to 2016, a surge in bloodshed. As the 2010s rolled in, Chicago's streets remained dangerous. The murder rate stayed high, with a major spike in 2016, hitting 771 homicides. Gang violence, economic disparities, and more illegal firearms fueled this surge. Law enforcement struggled to keep up, and communities were left hurting. Violence interruption programs and more funding for social services were implemented, but results were mixed. 2017 to 2019, a glimmer of hope. Amidst the chaos, there was a glimmer of hope. Between 2017 and 2019, Chicago saw a slight decline in the murder rate thanks to various law enforcement initiatives and community programs. By 2019, the city reported 492 murders, a significant drop from previous years. Mentoring at-risk youth, job training, and neighborhood watch programs played crucial roles in this decline. But the city knew the battle was far from over. 2020 to 2021, pandemic and unrest. The COVID-19 pandemic brought new challenges. In 2020, the murder rate spiked to 770 homicides, driven by social unrest, economic hardships, and disruptions to social services. 2021 was even deadlier, with 797 homicides, the highest in recent history. The pandemic intensified existing issues, leading to more tension and violence. Social services struggled to adapt, and law enforcement faced criticism and calls for reform. 2022 to 2024, a tentative recovery. Recent years have seen renewed efforts to tackle violent crime, leading to a slight decrease in homicides. In 2022, the number of murders dropped to 695, and by 2023, it had further declined to approximately 675. These reductions continued into 2024, with community leaders and law enforcement agencies collaborating on strategies to address the root causes of violence. Initiatives included increased mental health support, economic development programs, and enhanced community policing efforts. The most dangerous neighborhoods. Even as the city battles to reduce its murder rate, certain neighborhoods remain hotspots of violence, plagued by gang activities and economic hardships. West Garfield Park. West Garfield Park is Chicago's most dangerous neighborhood, with a violent crime rate 379% higher than the city average. Gang violence and high murder rates take a heavy toll on residents, causing high levels of stress and anxiety. Englewood. Englewood has a violent crime rate 301% higher than the Chicago average. The area struggles with high poverty rates and gang activity. Despite ongoing community initiatives, Englewood's residents face significant challenges. Austin. Austin has one of the highest crime rates in Chicago, with violent crime 187% higher than the city average. Persistent gang violence and economic hardships plague the neighborhood. Local leaders are working tirelessly to improve conditions and provide safer environments for residents. Washington Park. Washington Park's violent crime rate is 701% above the national average, making it one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago. Residents often feel insecure and apprehensive, especially after dark, due to high levels of violent crimes like murder and assault. East Garfield Park. East Garfield Park faces significant challenges, with a violent crime rate 306% higher than the Chicago average. Gun violence and gang activity are rampant, creating a tense living environment and frequent safety concerns. West Englewood. West Englewood's violent crime rate is 276% higher than the Chicago average. The neighborhood struggles with high poverty rates and elevated levels of violent crime, impacting the quality of life for its residents. Key figures in the drill scene. Drill music has been both a reflection and a catalyst of Chicago's violence. The aggressive, raw lyrics often glorify gang life and depict the harsh realities of street violence. Chief Keef. Chief Keef is a central figure in Chicago's drill scene. His lyrics often reflect the violence and struggles of life in Chicago. His rise to fame brought national attention to the city's violent street culture. Lil Durk. Lil Durk's music frequently touches on themes of violence and gang activity. He's been both a controversial and influential figure in Chicago's music landscape. King Von. King Von's music depicted the harsh realities of street life in Chicago. His death in 2020 further highlighted the dangers associated with the city's rap scene. FBG Duck. FBG Duck was involved in ongoing feuds with rival gangs and rappers, often reflected in his music. He was fatally shot in 2020, adding to the narrative of violence within the community. Polo G. While his music often portrays violence, Polo G also uses his platform to advocate for positive change and community support. Hashtag individual stories and their organizations. Chief Keef. Chief Keef, Keith Farrell Cozart, is considered a pioneer of drill music. His breakout song, I Don't Like, put him on the map, highlighting the violent and chaotic environment of Chicago's South Side. His music often glorifies gang life, but it also sheds light on the lack of opportunities and systemic issues faced by many in his community, impact and controversies. Chief Keef's rise to fame coincided with a significant increase in the visibility of Chicago's gang violence, partly due to his use of social media to taunt rivals and broadcast his lifestyle. His influence has been double-edged, providing an outlet for creative expression but also contributing to the cycle of violence. Organizations and initiatives. While Chief Keef has not been heavily involved in formal organizations or initiatives, his influence has inspired discussions about the need for more community support and resources for at-risk youth. Lil Durk. Lil Durk, Dirk Derrick Banks, is another influential figure in the drill scene. His lyrics often touch on themes of violence, loss, and resilience. Despite the controversial content of some of his songs, Lil Durk has used his platform to advocate for change and support his community. Impact and contributions. Lil Durk's music reflects his personal experiences and the struggles of growing up in a violent environment. He has released tracks like All My Life, focusing on overcoming adversity and advocating for positive change. Organizations and initiatives. Lil Durk has been involved in community efforts, including giving back to his neighborhood and supporting youth programs. He has also spoken about the importance of education and staying out of trouble. King Von. King Von, Davon Daquan Bennett, was known for his vivid storytelling, depicting graphic scenes of violence and crime. His music was a direct reflection of his life experiences and the environment he grew up in. Impact and legacy. King Von's death in 2020 highlighted the dangers associated with the drill scene. He was a rising star whose life was cut short due to ongoing gang rivalries. His music continues to resonate with fans, providing a stark look at the realities of street life. Organizations and initiatives. King Von did not have specific organizations tied to his name, but his life and music have spurred conversations about the need for violence prevention and support for young people in Chicago. FBG Duck. FBG Duck, Carlton Weekly, was another prominent figure in the drill scene, known for his involvement in ongoing feuds with rival gangs and rappers. His music often detailed the violence and struggles of life in Chicago. Impact and contributions. FBG Duck's death in 2020 was a significant event in the Chicago rap scene, underscoring the lethal consequences of gang conflicts. His music provided an unflinching look at the challenges faced by many young men in Chicago's neighborhoods. Organizations and initiatives. Like many drill artists, FBG Duck did not have formal ties to organizations, but his legacy continues to influence discussions on how to address gang violence and support at-risk youth. Polo G, Taurus Tremonti Bartlett, stands out for his introspective and often motivational lyrics, which, while not shying away from depicting violence, also emphasize personal growth and resilience, impact and contributions. Polo G's music balances the harsh realities of street life with messages of hope and the importance of perseverance. He has used his platform to speak on social issues and the importance of community support, organizations, and initiatives. Polo G has been involved in community outreach, supporting initiatives that provide resources and opportunities to youth in Chicago. He has spoken about the need to create positive change and give back to his community. The impact of drill music in Chicago. Drill music, a subgenre of hip-hop originating in Chicago, is known for its gritty, unfiltered depiction of street life and gang culture. Its raw lyrics often reflect the harsh realities faced by the artists and their communities, including violence, poverty, and survival. This genre has had a profound impact on Chicago, both culturally and socially. Cultural influence. Drill music has brought international attention to the struggles of Chicago's inner-city neighborhoods. Artists like Chief Keef, Lil Durk, King Von, FBG Duck, and Polo G have become prominent figures, using their music to tell the stories of their lives and those around them. These rappers have amassed significant followings, influencing not just music but fashion, language, and lifestyle within the youth culture in Chicago and beyond. Social impact. While drill music has provided a platform for expression and a means of escape for many artists, it has also been criticized for glorifying violence and perpetuating gang conflicts. The explicit content of the lyrics often includes references to real-life events and rivalries, which can escalate tensions and lead to actual violence. Social media amplifies these conflicts, turning local disputes into public feuds that sometimes result in deadly consequences. Social media's amplifying effect. Social media has turned local disputes into public spectacles, escalating tensions and leading to real-life violence. Platforms like Twitter and Instagram allow rappers and their associates to taunt rivals, often with deadly consequences. This phenomenon has been described as turning the streets into violent reality shows, where conflicts play out in front of a global audience, making resolution even more challenging. High-profile murders. Several high-profile murders have drawn significant public attention, influencing the city's discourse on crime and safety. Dantrell Davis, 1992. His death highlighted the severe gang violence in Cabrini Green. The 7-year-old boy was tragically killed by a stray bullet while walking to school. This event underscored the urgent need for improved safety in public housing developments. Jennifer Hudson's family, 2008. The brutal murder of her mother, brother, and nephew brought national attention to domestic violence. The crime was committed by her estranged brother-in-law, William Balfour, who was later convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Hadia Pendleton, 2013. Her death became a symbol of rampant gun violence affecting Chicago's youth. The 15-year-old honor student was shot in a park near her school just days after performing at President Obama's second inauguration. Her death led to renewed calls for stricter gun control laws. Laquan McDonald, 2014. His shooting by a police officer sparked widespread protests and debates about police brutality. The release of dashcam footage showing McDonald being shot 16 times led to the officer's conviction for second-degree murder, marking a significant moment in Chicago's history. Tyshawn Lee, 2015. His execution in a gang-related revenge killing shocked the city. The 9-year-old boy was lured into an alley and shot, highlighting the devastating impact of gang violence on innocent lives. Community and police efforts. The Chicago Police Department, CPD, has implemented several strategies to reduce violence. Violence Reduction Strategy, VRS, focuses on targeted outreach and support for individuals at high risk of involvement in violence, offering social services and personalized visits to steer them away from criminal activities. Racial Equity Action Plan, REAP, aims to advance racial equity and inclusivity within CPD's operations, building trust and promoting justice within the community. Community Policing Strategic Plans. Developed in collaboration with community members, these plans focus on crime reduction priorities and enhancing engagement between the police and the communities they serve. Anti-violence initiatives, collaborations with organizations like the Partnership for Safe and Peaceful Communities to reduce shootings and homicides through coordinated care and spending. Community Violence Intervention, CVI, supports programs that provide services to individuals at high risk of violence, focusing on prevention through outreach and conflict mediation. Youth Engagement and Services, programs like the Cops and Kids Chess Program and the Chicago Police and Firefighter Training Academy aim to build positive relationships with young people and provide opportunities for personal development. Conclusion: Chicago's fight against violence is a complex and ongoing battle. Despite the challenges, community efforts and law enforcement initiatives continue to strive for a safer future. The city remains resilient, with its residents and leaders working tirelessly to turn the tide and reclaim their streets. The story of Chicago is one of struggle and hope, of a city that refuses to give up in the face of adversity. The battle is far from over, but the spirit of its people ensures that the fight for peace will never wane. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into Chicago's violent struggles. Stay safe out there.